Hi, I'm Marian Bahadira Khan, or formerly known as Marian. I am now MB Real. I'm here to tell you how I became this way, pretty much how I started. I'm going to tell you from the beginning where I came from and now how I end up with the viewpoints that I have. So I was originally from Thailand. I was born in the refugee camp, but I'm Cambodian. I was sponsored to the United States, or Chicago specifically, when I was 2 years old. And, of course, I worked at a really, really young age. I grew up in a one-bedroom apartment with all girls, a single mom, and all girls just in a one-bedroom apartment. Could you imagine? Sharing the bathroom, clothes, hot water, whatever it is you can imagine. We shared it all. So we lived in Chicago, and I think about 8 or 9 years old, I moved to California. And I got a summer job about 11. I got like 3 jobs when I was going to school and working 3 jobs. I started working at the Orange County's courthouse at a very young age. I want to say, I don't know if it's like 12 or 14, but I got a work permit. They made me get a work permit. I mean, if you were in Asia, they don't need a work permit, you can work. But here, I got a work permit. I worked at 12. I also worked at a building agency company in Santa Ana. And so I've always had like 3 jobs or so growing up. Of course, I went to school. I mean, the normal course. Went to get my bachelorate in finance. Became a business person. I own 2 businesses right now. I'm a real estate and mortgage broker. And, just the way I see life is a lot different than I did before. I grew up very, very lefty, with everyone around me being a Democrat. So naturally, or just being a minority female woman, everyone assumes that you should be a Democrat. Well, of course, I've always been a rebel. As you can see, I am not afraid to tell you my opinion. And I just decided that, since I'm an independent thinker and there are issues and information out there that, that aren't true and people are being misled. And instead of following the status quo or everybody else, I was like, well, this is my true, authentic self. And I'm MB Real. This is what I believe in. I worked my ass off. I came from nothing. I built something. I create jobs. I influence. I help people. And so why wouldn't I have my own personal opinion? When I got into real estate, I started networking, I started going out there. And at the time I was like a young female in a male dominated industry, right? I would just force myself to go out networking. And sometimes, I was nervous, right? There's like, I'm dealing with all those men. Like, I don't know anything. I don't really know business, but I forced myself to do it. I went out there and I started to meet business people and just talking to them, their mentality. I mean, at first I was like, gosh, they're so direct, or I don't know. I just don't know. They were just intense, right? But the more I spoke to these business people, I realized, hey, I align with them. We're creators. And when you create jobs and when you do stuff, people want more and more from you. It's like they want you to help them. They constantly want something from you. But then you're like the bad person if you don't help them. So I think because I got into business and I forced myself to go out there and network, especially in a male-dominated industry, instead of being the victim, oh, I'm a female and I blah, 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 I decided to, hey, mingle with them. Until today, a lot of these businessmen are my good friends till today. They've mentored me, they've taught me. And I've learned that, being in business does not mean, you're money hungry. You just make money and you help people, right? You create jobs and the resources that you're creating are actually helping other people. And I realized, look, I want to give, but I also want to propel people forward instead of just give, 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 give. And growing up, obviously poor, we were sponsored here and being on welfare. I hated it. I told myself I would never want to be on welfare. I never want to live off the government's money. I want to do my own thing and I want to make my own decisions and I don't want to be controlled. So being in business at a really young age, forcing myself out there to network with, businessmen and women, even though it was really heavily involved, a male-dominated industry, I still went out there. I did it. I overcame the obstacles, the challenges. And then this is when I became a Republican. I was like, I want to think for myself. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to rely on the government. And I want to create jobs and I want to propel the future. And I want to help other people create jobs and give back in the future. So that's when I decided, look, I'm going to Be Real with MB Real because you need to see another perspective. Got to keep it real. So that's kind of how I had this perspective and I became a conservative. So even though a lot of my friends and family members, still on their side of the equation, it's okay. We all have of where we want to be. I can't judge you, right? And I just ask that, hey, be open-minded, just see a different perspective, and don't always just follow what people say. So this is me in a nutshell. And then, of course, after I graduated, got my finance degree, I relatively pretty young, I was 26. I got hired at Lenscrafters. I became a manager with minimal experience, but I managed one of the highest volume stores, and I took a failing store under 100%, and I, obviously exceeded sales plan, and they promoted me. I was one of the youngest managers to be promoted. I work with opticians, I work with lab managers, retail customers, and I learned a lot. I learned about open door policy. I learned about the corporate world. I learned about people, just all walks of life, and that also increased, my conservative views, right? Because I start seeing people can be very lazy. People want this, they want that, but they don't want to work for it, and I work my ass off. So working hard, working smart, and, having a goal and vision is very important to me. The American dream, having your freedom, not being controlled, having rights, those are all very, very important to me. And that's, the views that I want to kind of influence and help people at least see, right? So after that, I decided, hey, I wanted to go to law school because, I don't know, maybe I was toying with the idea of being a politician or some sort of community leader, and I thought going to law school would be the way. Why not understand our legal system, right? You got to understand finance, law. I mean, those are very, very important things if you want to be here and be successful. So I went to law school. I was 29 years old. I went to law school and graduated. I still run my mortgage and real estate business. I've been very, very fortunate the last few years. I have a legal background. I don't currently practice, but it's still there, right? You never know. Might use it for politics. And that's kind of where I'm at. I have people working with me. I built a team. They're amazing. I've even had close friends that I've known since 8 years old worked with me. So I would like to think that I kind of help them out somewhat, and I would love to see them help other people. And I've also been able to just meet like young people and influence them, give them some direction. And we have a great team right now. So I love it. I love my team. I love being a business owner. I love being able to influence people and give them just a different way of thinking. And I enjoy it. And I want to take it to another level. I want to help you guys get to a different level. So here I am. What do I mean when I say take it to another level? Well, I don't know. I feel like we're stagnant right now. You can't really get to any level right now. But just to kind of get out of this funk, right? I want to help people see that, look, there's always another way. If you work hard, you build the right team, you don't give up. It doesn't matter where you're from. Obviously, I'm from a refugee camp. I did not have anything coming here. If I can do it, you can do it. Especially the people with available resources. You should be out there doing it already. So I just want to give you strength. I want to give you courage. I want to give you strength. I want to give you a voice and show you that, look, don't be afraid to speak your truth. Don't be afraid to be authentic. And don't be afraid to influence leaders or create leaders. That's what I want to do. I want to create future leaders. I want to get them out of the bubble to show maybe they're just at the tip of figuring out, do I want to say this? Do I not want to say this? Do I want to do this? Maybe I can just be that person to break that mold for you. Will I run for politics? That is the question. Did I not say I went to law school for that particular reason? That is still on the to-do list. Might be soon. Might be running soon. So check me out in Southern California. Yes, that is on the table. I'm considering running for politics. So stay tuned because, I will need your support and your vote. And it's not fake news. By the way, I'm going to make America real again.